Yo, I got the beats.
What's the deal, YouTube world? This is James with OinkArtLTD.com. Today we're going to be continuing our cap test program, and we're going to be testing a New York thin cap, which is also known as a New York skinny or a New York outline cap. A New York thin cap is what we would call an American cap, which is to say it was originally manufactured with the intention that it would be used on American brands of paint, such as ColorPlace, Krylon, and other brands of paint. A New York thin cap sprays a thin line, so it's perfect for detailed work or for outlining. So let's get the testing going. First, we're going to use a New York thin cap on a can of Montana Hardcore. As you can see, a New York thin cap works just fine on a Montana Hardcore. Let's try a New York thin cap on a Krylon can. A New York thin cap works great on a Krylon can. Now let's try the New York thin cap on a can of Belton Molotov. Now as you can see, I put in the New York thin cap and it just started spraying on its own. So it would appear to me that at least today a New York thin cap is not working on a can of Belton Molotov. See, it completely locked up the can, so that doesn't appear to be working. Now let's try a New York thin cap on a can of ColorPlace. The New York thin cap works just fine on a can of ColorPlace. Now let's try a New York thin cap on a can of Iron Lac. When you put it in a can of Iron Lac, it fits in fine, but the paint doesn't seem to respond very well. So I would say that a New York thin cap does not appear to work very well on Iron Lac cans. Now let's try a New York thin cap on a can of Rust-Oleum. A New York thin cap works fine on a can of Rust-Oleum. So in review today, a New York thin cap works great on ColorPlace, Krylon, Rust-Oleum, and Spanish Montana Hardcore. A New York thin cap did not work today on Belton Molotov or Iron Lac. Now it should be mentioned, a New York thin cap should work with the Belton Molotov in general, but I don't ever use it on it, so if it didn't work today, it may not work in the future. New York thin caps are available in 10-pack units for only $1.50, 50-pack units for $3.50, and 100-pack units for $6.75. Visit OinkArtLTD.com today to get the best price anywhere on New York thin caps.